Oklahoma gang. Well, with all our paladins in the shop for a little bit, now's the perfect time to slide over to the Druid. I haven't played my Druid much since Legion, but when I was able to play it, I've just absolutely loved it. And I want to formally invite you, if you have never played a Druid, and specifically if you've never healed on a Druid, it is marvelously fun. Plus, I'm getting my ass kicked by Druids, so I need to remember how it's done so I can play against them. I'm really excited about it, and we've got some time. So I thought a fun way to do this, and this is how I'm going to do it. We're going to do a starting area to solo shuffle series. So I'm going to start from 0, and we're going to level them, have fun, and learn it together, families. And so as we go along, I'll share my knowledge of what I know, what I've learned, good resources I find. I always appreciate the comments educating me. I've learned a lot from you guys. It's been a really great experience. So let the good times continue. Let's talk race selection. Up first, the true Druids. Noble, agile, handsome. That cat form is a dream. Top all that off with Shadow Meld. These are a few of my favorite things. This is the OG Druid faction. I love them. I love them. This is the selection for me. But for those of you who prefer to be among the lesser races, I will cover them out of sympathy. Worgen, these ones are just weird to me. I don't like their casting animations. I don't get why they change form. Shouldn't they just bend over and bite shit? I don't know. I just have never liked this. The females are just awful. The voice is even worse. I mean, the guys try to look tough and gnarly, and the girls look like Disney. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I just can't. Panda as an option would be so cool if they gave them unique forms like they did the Zandalari. For Panda, here's my ideas. For bear form, Ox. Wouldn't that be awesome? Really do the animations. I mean, oxen can gore shit and stuff, right? So that could just look awesome, especially with charge and all that. But for cat form, I think you just got to go Bengal Tiger. And listen to this one, okay? Travel and swim form together for Panda Druids as a crane form. Colterans for me are a huge miss. I think the little dressed, waterlogged looking shit, that right there, awful. Just awful. And I think it is a horrible miss. To me, the bear form should have been a grizzly bear, right? Just a giant fucking fuzzy ass grizzly bear. Kills me that they don't have it. I mean, for cat form, keep the one they have. I don't give a shit, but I would have rather seen like a puma, saber-tooth thing. Maybe a timber wolf. That would have been kind of cool. Travel form is interesting. I guess if you went, you could also go wolf for travel. Moose seems tempting because, you know, they're so big, but then that's high mountain Tauren territory. So what about like a wild stallion or like a Clydesdale? That'd be kind of cool, right? Aren't they like horses and shit? Kind of noble. I don't know. Maybe that fits them. Anyway, anything's better than what they got. For swim, walrus, right? Ha! Isn't that great? You know that's great. You would love to see a fat ass walrus Colteran Druid. Yeah, you would. And then flight form, seagull. I just don't even understand. So to me, it's just so sad when I look at that and think about what it could be. I think it's a huge miss that the Zandalari got those awesome dinosaur forms, and this is what the Colterans got. Just breaks my heart. Could have been awesome, but they suck so bad I can't even look at them. So, yuck, yuck. And as far as these races over here, if you don't know, Horde Druids betrayed the sacred bond of Druids and committed genocide against their own kin to appease their psychopath undead queen. That's the lore. That's just what it is. I have no idea when they did that tree burning thing, why they didn't include a quest for Horde Druids who obviously would not have participated in that, but they did. And if you're a Horde Druid, you did the quest and you burned the tree down. All Horde Druids should be shunned from the Dream Grove. They should only be able to wear corrupted skins. And like all the like Ysera and and Malfurion, everyone should hate them. I don't understand how they got to kill millions of like druid sprites or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, well, it was just Sylvanas, so now we're cool again. Does that make any sense to anybody? But anyway, that's where we're at story wise. So people will say, no, it's all better now. But no, it's actually not. It's actually disgusting. And so if you want to play a psychopath druid that loves to kill millions of your own kind in service to your banshee queen, that's just pick from any of these disgusting things over here. But for me, it's night elf all the way. Let's begin. It seems so basic, but sometimes I think it's good for you psychologically to just come out here and cast spells at young night sabers. And just remember why you originally began to like this game, because it has just beautiful fantasy zones. Look at that tree. This new Wrath animation is hot. Look at that. That is great. It just, such a great glow effect on that. I don't want any excuses out of you guys either. Look, I'm starting on a new server, no gold, nothing. Just a Hearthstone and 55 copper to my name. You can do it. Put those gloves. Now I got some archery gloves. So, archery gloves, a Hearthstone, and 55 copper. Moving up. This zone is gorgeous. Can I just say it? These sexy little moonglaive gals walking around with these big-ass purple trees. It is just so serene and pretty. I just love the Night Elf area. Level 4 and I got Entangling Roots. This is every demon hunter's favorite spell in the game. I forgot I had all this leveling gear. I'm kind of glad that they toned it down so that it's not as powerful. But it is nice to have, I suppose, and I might as well use it if I have it. Level 5. So far, so good. Now, we've got a nice addition here. We've got cat form. Let the fun begin, because now we're shifting forms. And this is where druids start getting really fun. Now, I want to show you something real quick if you're new to the class. Forms are kind of like stances in that you have certain abilities in each form. So look, if I come out in caster form here, you'll notice that my bar, I put all these casting abilities in here. But when I go into feral form, you'll see that this bar, I get a new bar here. Okay, so in this bar, when I go into feral form, what I like to do is I like to put the abilities that I'm going to use in feral form here. Okay, and then I fill these bars up with the utility or heals or whatever I want to do. But the primary abilities for each form, I like to put in the bar for that form. So when I hop out, I'll have these abilities available. Because what can happen is, say I put Moonfire in cat form, right? And I'm in cat form and I hit this. We'll see it pulls me out of cat form. And that's not a problem. You may want to do that at times. But for the most part, you're going to stay in your forms that you're attacking it. You will shift in and out. And part of being a great druid is knowing when to shift in and out to maximize your potential. Falling back to heal or throw a cyclone and then hopping back in there. And the greatest druids do it so amazingly and so fluidly. They're just shifting in and out of bear and cat, and it's just beautiful to watch. But as you're starting, just click on your ability, go into cat form, and you'll see abilities that are available only, like, so for this, right, it says right there, requires cat form. Just remember about cat form, you get that 40% auto attack increase, so you're really hitting fast. And then you put bleeds on top of that. And so feral damage really becomes about just a bunch of bleeds and attacks going off like crazy. It's such a cool spec. You also get some pretty nice ferocious bites, so it's got its burst in there as well. But you also notice you get that 30% move speed just for being in cat form. So when you're rolling around, make sure you're in that cat form because you can really cruise. And boy, this is just such super fast leveling. I'm having a lot of fun. I love the Night Elf cat form so much. It's just so lean and agile and sexy. Oh, just beautiful. Here's some moonshine for your boy. And now they're all better. All right, so I'm heading off to the next zone. And I just can't encourage you to do this enough, family. Options, keybinds, come down here to miscellaneous. Right here, where it says toggle user interface, toggle that to something crazy. I don't care. Just make it so you can hit it, so that when you've got a little ways to go like I do here, turn that UI off, hop in that cat form, and just roll. Just remember, if you do decide to toggle and you come upon some NPCs, turn it back on to see if they have any quest. So this all needs to be changed. I long for the day where you can hide your UI, but it'll pull up if like a quest is nearby or you go in combat. And so right away you can kind of see what's unique about the Druid, right? Here we are attacking things in cat form, building combo points, feeling real roguelike once we get stealth and all those spenders. Or you can hop out if you prefer a more caster mode and hit them with your Wrath and Moonfires. I love the Ancients so much. Aren't they just awesome? God, that is so cool. Look at my man just out here looking out for everybody like a stud. Oh, that is just the coolest. Remember that spender I told you was coming? Well, here it is at level 7, Ferocious Bite. The first thing you'll see is that it does more damage per point. And there at the top, 5 points, it does 38 damage. But look, this thing has 66 health. So sometimes, by the time you hit it a couple times, you don't need that full bite every time. So something to consider while leveling is, if you just swipe, bite, that's usually the best way to do it. Another thing to remember about Ferocious Bite is that if you save up a little energy before you bite it, you can use up to 25 additional energy to increase the damage more. So it's kind of fun just to build up 5 Ferocious Bites, just kill that and just let that guy die. Build up your energy, come in and watch. You can just put a big chomp on someone. Kind of cool, but so it does extra damage per combo point, and also you can put a little energy into the bite too. I think that's really thematic, like you're really trying to line up a nasty bite on someone. Don't forget to use that sprint on cooldown. It'll get you wherever you need to go very quickly. If you see me changing shit around constantly down here in the buttons, just know that I'm working out my keybinds just like you are. Kind of trying to remember how I used to have it, and then I kind of like remember how I have it on my palette. Like, well, that makes more sense. It's more like that ability. It's just a nightmare. But new keybinds are always a nightmare. All right, my man, here's your shit. Thank you for the XP. What do we got? Level 8. Let's see. Bear form. Just such a badass form. Love the Night Elf version, but honestly, I like a lot of versions of bear form. But so cool. Just awesome. You want to go in bear form when you want to get defensive and tanky. And to be quite frank, bears can do a lot of damage and bleed damage too. You can tank a lot of mobs in bear form. Just by shifting into bear form, you increase your armor by 220% and gain 25% stamina. Also, in PvP, if you don't know this, Druids in their Druid forms can't be polymorphed. So if you're in caster form here, you can be turned into a sheep. But if you're in one of these Druid forms, you're immune to polymorph. It'll just say immune. So one thing high-level Druids are kind of good at is if mages try to sheep them, they hop into form real quick, and then they hop out and heal some more or do whatever they're doing. So, but we'll get to that. For now, congrats on bear form. So when they talk about a Druid being a jack of all trades, this is what they're talking about. You've got this cat form here where you're attacking like a rogue, but you could also hop into bear form. And now it's more like a warrior, right? I'm building rage with these mangles. And look, I mean, these guys aren't even hurting me. I'm just slapping them, right? But if I want to kill things faster, I hop into this cat form. And now I'm just wrecking stuff. And then at any point, if I need to hop out and heal myself, I just do it.
May the stars guide you.
Level 9 now. We have Mark of the Wild. This is a 60-minute buff. You just click it. Anytime you're in a dungeon group or whatever, you want to put this on your party or raid. 3% versatility, do a little more damage, take a little less damage. Great buff. Then we've also got Growl down here. And as you can see, it says, requires bear form, no problem, hop in there. And we're just going to throw it in the bar right there at number 2. That's where I'm used to it. Once we get to 10 to 20, you can start doing instances and you'll really start leveling faster. Because healers get fast Q and dungeons go pretty quick with the way tanks hit them these days. I'll get you all set up before you head in there. But one of the things that I would try to get comfortable doing while you're leveling, and I'm trying to work on it while I'm leveling, is get used to kind of using a few abilities in one form and then switching into another form and using your other one. So I'm going to use the taunt in my bear form because that's one of the key things to getting the most out of your druid is really knowing how to use them and being comfortable switching in and out of forms. Because there's going to be times when you're out here healing and that's going to aggro things. And you're going to need to swap into bear form so when things hit you, it doesn't hurt you too much. And then you take it back to the tank, right? And then you hop back out and you're healing people. But what if everybody's good? There's no real damage going out. Well, now you can hop into cat form and help out. And weaving in and out of forms to maximize your contribution to the team is, I think, one of the very unique and fun things about being a druid. Boy, you really burn through the quest as a feral because you just really don't have to stop at all. I think most classes are that way at these real low levels, but combined with the 30% move speed, you are just cruising. Oh my god, that den was a nightmare, and this mini-map helped fuck all. But let's talk about what we've got here at level 10 now. We've got some new stuff. We can bring Mark of the Wild onto the bar. What else did we grab here at level 10? Barkskin and Swipe, it looks like. So Barkskin is a cool one because you can use it in any form, right? We've got it in cat form, turns our skin bark. Same in bear form, same in caster form. You get this nice bark effect. One of the big things that makes Barkskin so cool is that it says right there at the bottom, you can use it while you're stunned or incapacitated. So if you get stunned, no trink or whatever, you didn't quite get in bear form, you can still get this 20%. If you can get in bear form and use this Barkskin, it's a ton of damage reduction. Another ability we've acquired at level 10 is travel form, where it pops you in for night elves, this stag form. Different druid races have different forms, but I love this stag form on the night elves. Honestly, all the form shifting is so much fun. And just being able to become what you need to be for yourself and your team is just too cool. Ah, shit, I forgot to cover Swipe. So Swipe is an ability that you can use in either bear form or cat form. In bear form, it's just a spammable ability you can use. It won't generate any rage for you, but it's nice for AoE packs so that you don't lose aggro. Because you're hitting everything around you, and then you can weave in your mangles while they're on cooldown. Because see, mangles got that 5-6 second cooldown. In cat form, it does generate a combo point. So if you're attacking multiple targets, you're going to get more bang for your buck hitting Swipe than you are shred if you're trying to do some AoE. So like, see, you can grab bear. If you want to grab a group in bear form, you could just grab yourself a little group here. Watch. Especially if you hit this iron bark, you are not going to take any damage hardly. Not before you kill him. And then you just mangle him down. He's running away already. And see, I'm using this swipe to hit all 3 of them. And now when it's just one of them, I really don't need to. And again, you'll get spenders for this rage that will do more damage. Okay, so I'm level 10 now. Actually level 11 by the time I got to filming this. But I had a lot of shit to turn in. So what we want to do when we hit level 10 is we want to pick a spec. Now, if you're going to continue questing and leveling and just flying around killing mobs, I think you should go feral. Feel free to check out balance if you want. I'm definitely going to do some balance through it. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. But for now, I want to learn feral really well because it's been a while and I don't really not up on the changes and what all the abilities to do now. And remember, our ultimate goal is to follow the way of the ancients over here. So we'll set up our bars and get to healing as soon as I get to town. But for now, you pick your specialization, whichever you want. Pick one of the damage specializations if you're going to continue questing. If you want to tank or heal right away and get into dungeons, you can. I'm going to wait till I get to town here in a few. Remember to assign your talent. I grabbed Thrash and Tiger's Fury. So Thrash is just like Swipe, right? Here's Swipe that just sends out some AoE damage. Thrash does the same thing, but it adds a bleed. We also have Rip. Now, Rip is really cool because it's basically a spender, but instead of where Ferocious Bite does that burst damage, Rip puts a dot up, watch, and they'll just slowly tick, that 13 you see ticking. That's the Rip. So you're attacking very fast and they're bleeding. Now, something to be aware of with Rip is look how much damage it can do and for how long. Okay, but nothing I'm killing out here lasts for 24 seconds, right? I mean, none of it even lasts 8. But just something to be aware of is that putting a 5-point rip on a target that's going to die in 6 seconds is kind of a waste of combo points. So having Thrash and Rip together is a lot of fun because look how quick you can get this damage rolling. You can Thrash them and then Rip them, and look, they've got both of those bleeds on them, and you can pretty much just run away. I think you can, yeah. He's going to die just from those two. So you're just dotting everything up that you want to kill. And look, I got all this stuff hitting me, right? So I'm going to hit my Barkskin so I take 20% less damage. And then again, if I'm taking all this and I've got all these dotted up, I can just be in bear form, thrashing everything around me, reapplying that bleed. Everything dies. Heal myself up, and we're back at it. And that's how you Druid, family. Rake is just an initial low damage ability, but it puts a bleed up, see? And now they're bleeding there. And then you can hit them with Thrash, and it puts another bleed up. And then you can spend those 2 points that they generated, right? Rake's a generator, Thrash is a generator, but Rip is a spender. So when you use them all together, you're putting 3 nasty dots on something. And remember, in cat form, you also attack very quickly. So there's just a lot of damage going off. Let me show you. So you come in, you hit this Rake, that puts a bleed on them. Then you hit this Thrash, that puts a bleed on them. And you use those 2 points to put that Rip up. And look, they're just ticking and dying. You don't even have to stick around like I showed you. Just Rake, Thrash, Rip. He's dead. And pretty quickly. I think the ancients would be pleased. We've taken our first steps. I've just had so much fun switching between the forms and flying around. I'm forcing myself back to town at level 12 so I can go set up the UI and we can get to healing. I am just having a blast. This was such a good break for me. I hope you are too. And this zone. Druids are just awesome, aren't they? I think I'll cut this one for the intro to the series. And we'll just do the first 10 levels will be part 1. Then we'll do 10 to 20, 30 to 40, and so on. Because I want to be very thorough. And so I think just doing it every 10 levels. And then maybe I probably will just do some battleground ones separately. So this is just going to be a very, very thorough series on Druid. And then ultimately with the goal of being an awesome resto Druid at the end. Starting with the next one, we're going to be doing some healing, so don't get too comfortable in that cat form, partner. Talk to you soon. Boglehome out.